Hello, chat. Okay, let me just hold up. All right, today's stream is kind of unplanned. Hello, unknown. Oh my God, my bro, aren't you in Canada? What the heck? Are you flying back today? Aren't you? Okay. All right. Thank you for the roll call. Welcome to Chibi's daycare. Unknown. My God. Okay. Hello. Hello. Okay, so I think Lily might be having trouble loading into the game, but today we're gonna be training Lily, and I realized they have this thing. It's like the FIFA, right? Speaking of FIFA, I went to like mini golf this week, yes, to celebrate a friend's birthday, and then I I may or may not have offended people because I went to like Toys R Us after that, right? And then we walked into the store, and the first thing they had on display was like FIFA, all the bobbleheads, figurines of like soccer players, right? I had no idea who the fuck they were. I was like, I don't think they were famous enough because I don't know the names of those soccer players. They don't even speak English, right? Yeah, so I basically offended people at Toys R Us. I felt the judgmental stares coming from the side. Oh, Lily is here. Hello, Lily. Welcome, welcome. So today is gonna be our Valorant introduction, yes?
Kind of introduction.
Kind of introduction. Okay, so I'm gonna like show you in like custom. Have you seen all the maps yet or not yet?
Not yet.
Not yet.
I
Okay.
only know the training ones.
Training ones. Oh, okay. Well, I see. Okay. In that case, I would suggest going to a custom game, and I will show you one by one, right? Like the more common maps.
Okay.
So there are like, hold on, let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 maps. Holy fuck.
Oh
Alright,
my.
I'm gonna teach you only a few of the maps, like the basic ones. So I'm gonna, let's see. Okay, Ascent is definitely gonna appear. Bind is gonna appear. Haven, I'm not sure if Haven's gonna appear. Fracture is fun, but I don't think it's that. Yeah, I think it will be fine not to do it. And maybe Lotus. Okay, we'll do three. We'll do three for today. We'll try Ascent first. This is like the very first map, yes?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna teach you a few things. First things first, we are going to go to your guns. Okay, what agents do you have unlocked? Can you briefly let me know?
Let's see. Brimstone,
Mm-hmm.
Cypher, Jet, Killjoy, Phoenix, Sage, and Sova.
Okay. Are you more comfortable with? Okay, there are like four different agent playstyles, right? So
Yep.
we okay. Do you know all the four of them?
Um, I kn- I'm usually Sentinel or Initiator. That's the two I'm most
Okay, pick one.
comfortable with.
Pick one that you're familiar with. Then pick one that you're familiar with that you always lock
Okay.
in. All right. And then I'm gonna do the
Yep.
same. Uh, where's my lady? Where's my lady? My lady. She's not here. I don't see her. Oh, I'm blind. Alright, I see her. Alright, lock in. Lock in one that you're comfortable with. I would suggest
Yep.
like going with someone that usually gives you heal, like you can self heal. That would be nice. Because
Yeah.
when
Okay.
when you're first starting out, I feel like Sage is a very popular one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Phoenix is useful if you know how to do it, but you are more of a
Mm-hmm.
Sentinel and Initiator, right? I find the Initiators are hard. Personally, I think they are hard. Okay, so if you press B, you take a look at
Yep.
your gun menu, right? What is a gun that you are most comfortable with, or rather, has Coda taught you anything about guns?
I know how to. I know it's. Um. I know Phantom and Vandal, and that's about it.
Okay, never choose Phantom. The new updates have said that Vandal is like the best one. You're gonna have to do like a recoil thing, right? Recoil control. Alright, every time in
Yep.
pistol round, okay, I'm gonna tell you this trick, right? I personally like Ghost or Bandit. when it comes to starting rounds because their recoils are very very low. I feel like if you're not good at aim, you actually be good at those as well. Also, hold on, I need to change some of these things. Cheat, toggle cheat, yes, toggle cheat, pause match timer on. Okay, we're gonna pause the match timer here. Infinite abilities and all. I'm gonna enable all of these. Okay, so now, okay, I don't know why I was in ghost mode. Okay, where exactly are you? Can you meet me in like the
I'm at
middle?
B.
You're at B? Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Where exactly on B? Oh, hello. Hello, hello, hello.
Uh,
Hello.
oh, there you are.
Okay, so, can you try and see if you can get the gun? So, I would say ghost or bandit. No, not that. Yeah. Not. um, can you not buy?
Ooh,
That's bandit. Okay, how's the recoil of bandit?
not that bad.
Okay, try ghost. Alright, which one feels better for you?
Bandit.
Bandit? Yeah, okay. You know why? Because Bandit has like a slightly faster fire rate compared to Ghost. Right, but in
Oh.
yeah, so in terms of like gun wise, I think Bandit is slightly better because it also does higher damage for headshots. You can kill them up close in one shot. Ghost cannot do that. Bandit can with full shields, right? So Bandit is slightly better. I would suggest you try and go for Bandit every round. Fuck the Vandal, but I can show you what it means by carrying a Vandal. Okay, this is a Vandal.
Oh, I know. I did the
Okay,
I did the tutorial. The tutorial.
that is not a good
Yeah,
Vandal.
I know.
No, no, no. Okay, so how you buy? How you use a Vandal? You tap one at a time. Yeah, never do this. Never do this. Unless you're in panic and you have no choice. Which sometimes we do. It's called spray and pray. Oh, Discord audio is a little bit quiet. Okay, hold on, chat. Hold on, chat. Hold on, chat. Discord. Alright, Lily, can you do a sound check?
Pop pop pop. Pop 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 pop. Pop pop
Okay.
pop pop pop.
Alright, is it better right now, guys? On Steam? Steam? Twitch. On Steam. We're playing Valorant on Steam. My fucking god. Alright. Hopefully it's better for you guys. Yeah, you can hear. It's good? Okay, thanks. Thank you. Thank you so much. Alright, so unknown is there. Okay, so basically, what you want to do with gun, remember, Coda and like a lot of Valorant, they say that you cannot walk and shoot. Alright, you do not walk and shoot. You always stop before you shoot, yes? Okay, so there's one more thing that I wanna specify, right? So when you are shooting, like, okay, come here with me. For example, you are defending, right? So they're gonna come in from that side, yes? Where do you stand when you are here? Where do you stand? Really? You're gonna...
Somewhere like
Okay.
in the corner, maybe.
No, if you do that over here, and if they come in here, you got nowhere to run. Stand here.
Oh.
Yeah, so
Okay.
you can back out there, okay? So remember, whenever you are like, you know, when you are defending, you have to make sure you have places to run. Like, for example, if they pushed all the way here, what are you gonna do? You're gonna run backwards here, okay? You're gonna run backwards here to hide here, okay? If not here, then you're gonna hide here. Understand? Like, always keep on moving, keep on backing out, and make sure that you try and stay alive so that your team can come and get you. Unless you are the last person, then, well, there's no choice, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so always place yourself whereby you can retreat. And by the way, this is like not a great position unless you are like very far-sighted and you're very good at shooting long distance. See that from there, if they come in and you hide here, it's actually much easier to shoot them because you're closer, yes? Yes?
Okay.
Understood? Yeah? Okay, so that's basically how you position yourself. Positioning is one thing. Another thing, I'm gonna stand there now. You're gonna try and aim your gun. See, this is where I'm standing. Can you aim it at my head? Okay? Alright, so I'm gonna move now. Alright, you're gonna try. Okay? All right, you got me there? Okay, so this is what we call crosshair placement. Crosshair placement is pre-aiming. So before even you see them, if you see them instantly, you shoot them first. When you see them, they're dead, right? So now, move your mouse, go, turn away. Go behind the wall. Okay, so now I'm gonna go behind the wall now. You're going to peek, means you're gonna come out, and you're gonna put exactly where you saw my head was before that. Are you in position now?
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna peek. Is the crosshair on my head?
Yep.
Okay, now you're gonna change position. You're gonna go there. I'm gonna hide. You're gonna go there, and then you're gonna try and put it on my head. We're gonna practice crosshair placement. Also, hello. Thank you for claiming first, Childy, and also welcome to Chibi's Daycare Center. The roll call. Whenever I'm on Twitch, I'm like a daycare. Okay, are you in position, Lily?
Yep.
Okay, so I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna peek. Try and make sure that it is not there. There. You're supposed to go there. Yeah, you're supposed to go down there. And then you're supposed to try and aim for my head, right?
Like this?
Are you there now?
I mean, I don't see you, so I can't really.
No, you're not supposed to see my head first. This is what it means by crosshair placement. You're trying to estimate where I'm supposed to be, not see me first. There. Can you see the thing on the map? Here. You're supposed to stand here.
No, I don't see it. Probably because like.
Oh, your enemy
an
team.
enemy?
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. Like here. Alright,
Okay.
yeah, because this is where normally you're gonna camp, right? If I'm gonna come in. Alright, so do not look at where I am right now. Okay, try and estimate where my head position would be. When you're in position, let me know.
I'm in position.
Alright, I'm gonna peek. Did you get it?
Yep.
Is it aligned with my head?
Yep.
Okay, so one more thing. Realize that your position right now where you're standing is often where I'm gonna smoke. You see smokes? Yep.
Yep.
So that's gonna close your vision right off there. What do you do in that situation?
I try to get out
Okay, you get out and then where are you gonna go?
to the place you told me to, like retreat, basically.
That could be one way, alright. But another way is to actually not retreat, okay? Is to wait here. Wait until the smokes are gone. Reason being,
Ah.
you have to hear, because you can hear, okay? If you stand here. Okay? So assume that I'm gonna smoke now. Assume that you can't see anything, right? I'm gonna come in from here, right? So I'm gonna attack. I'm gonna check. Okay? I'm gonna go here. Can you hear my footsteps in the game?
No.
Can you hear my
Give me a
footsteps?
second. I'm gonna change the audio a bit.
Valorant is an audio game. You're gonna have to listen. A lot of times, lower elo people, they never listen. And then they don't know where the information is. Where is the enemy coming from? I don't know. I can't see them. It's from the back. And then they die. Right, you're gonna hear for my footsteps. I can hear my footsteps. I can hear yours as well actually. If you move.
I can hear yours now.
Okay, good. So that's what I mean. Okay, we're gonna try again. Yeah, I'm gonna go there and I'm gonna smoke. Okay, pretend that now you are there and I smoke it. I'm trying to plant the spike and you cannot hear me. So I'm walking. Can you hear my footsteps? No, don't shoot. Don't shoot.
I'm
you
a little trigger happy.
yeah, that trigger discipline you're gonna have to learn. So don't shoot. You're supposed to give intel to the team, right? You're supposed to tell them where they are. So for example, if you hear footsteps and you confirm, you say enemy is here. So you have to tell the team enemy is here. But then don't give away your position. Hide first. Try and figure out how many of them that they are. Okay, so you can do a slight peek. If you can, you do a slight peek just to put them on the map, right? And then people will rotate. So for example, maybe 3 of them are at A, 2 of them are at B, 1 here, 1 on top, right? Okay, you hide first. You wait for the people on A to come in. Then you go in with them and you start shooting the people you see. Got it?
Okay.
Okay, so it's about positioning because Valorant is kind of like chess but with guns.
I see.
Yeah, I say that because I'm a controller. I like to play controller agents, which means that I like to cut away line of sight, like using smokes and stuff like that. So I limit movements, and therefore I can shuffle around people and know how many body counts there are. So Right. So this is site. Okay. This is what we say site, which means I'm gonna be
Yep.
planting spike somewhere here. Alright. Normally there are positions for spike. This right here is one position.
Yep.
Okay. This is what we call default. Okay. There are
Give me a
another.
second. Give me a second, my dad.
Look, did you hear me?
Whoops.
Okay, I'm back.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Accidentally killed you almost.
Mm.
Can you respawn? Are you respawning?
Nope.
Oh, okay. Can you go escape? And then go to cheats.
Cheats. All right.
Okay, do you see auto respawn and stuff like that?
Oh, there it is.
Okay, are you back? Yes, you are back. Alright, nice.
Yay.
Okay, so like I said just now, there are like several places, right? This right here is default.
Uh-huh.
Normally they put it here, right? There is another spot, which is this spot here, that they will plant at. Okay, this one is behind. So for example, if a last person is alive, most chances are they will do it here because it's easier to protect. Normally if they put it there, they are hiding inside here so that they can see directly. Can you see that? Yeah,
Yep.
so you're gonna check it inside. Okay, and another one spot that they love to do is actually here. Right here.
Huh.
Yes, this is called
Oh, because
open.
like line of sight.
No, because you can see it, but you have to come all the way in here. Chances are they are not hiding behind, they are actually hiding in front. Okay, so for example, you are here, right? Okay, stand here. Okay, I'm gonna go out. So for example, you are the spike. I'm gonna be able to see if I come from here. Yes, I'm gonna come from here. I'm like, oh, the spike is there. And I'm gonna have to go all the way in. Guess where they will be hiding?
Oh, that way.
They will be hiding here, one of it,
Yeah.
and they will be hiding here, one of it. Because when I see the spike and I go straight for it, I'm not checking behind me. Look at that. I'm not checking behind me. They can't even be hiding there behind the wall here. See? Okay? So it's very dangerous. This is what we call open plant. They are usually not behind. They're usually behind somewhere. So be very careful. Okay? This is just for A site. No, B site. Sorry. Okay? So far,
Yep.
so good.
Yep.
Okay, now we're gonna go to A site and teach you some of the strats. It's similar, but A site is a little bit harder because there is top and bottom. What we call heaven and hell. Don't follow my example. I sometimes I panic and I call it roof. It's not roof. It's heaven and hell. Okay, so this is where most killjoys will be. If there is a killjoy on an enemy agent, they will most likely be here. Alright? And then some of a plant location, if it's not here, okay, one of it is here, then it will be here, okay? If not, it will just be here directly in the open because the main door is right there and you can see from every angle. Or worst case scenario, oh god, I hate this the most. It's right behind this. We call this generator, right? Gen. Okay, it's right here because it is blocked from their angle and this angle, and you have to come all the way in, and they will most likely be down here ready to shoot you right there. Yep. Okay, so when you are defending, know that a lot of people, they will hide there, but the problem with Valorant is that the walls are paper thin. So if you hide here, I'm not very sure if they can still shoot through it. I'm gonna test it out. Hold on. Oh wait, sorry, no wait, excuse me. Does it go through?
Yep, you can. You can. I saw the bullets.
Yeah, okay. So basically, if they go here and they use this thing, you hide behind this wall, you're not actually very bulletproof. This is actually not bulletproof as well, if I remember correctly.
Yep, it's not.
It's not bulletproof at all. So yeah, be very careful if you're on the top and you're hiding it from here. Yes. Okay, at the bottom, it's slightly better, but people already know it's a very good spot to hide. So that's not very recommended. Most times, people hide behind this thing here, this generator, because it cannot be shot through, if I remember correctly. See?
Yep.
Okay, this is like the safest one to hide behind. But it also means that you gotta be really fast. And once they are in, you're probably dead. If they rush four people at once and you're here like, oh no, and you didn't manage to take down at least one of them, you're probably fucked. Okay, and then this one over here, this switch toggles this door, yes? Right, so normally there will be 2 or 3 people. One will be on the top or at the bottom over there. One will be near this door, and one will be standing right here to see if anybody is coming in because there's only one way in. Can you see that? Yep, okay. So normally there will be 3 people here and there will be 2 people on B. If not, there will be 2 people here and then there will be 1 person in the center. Right, the center is just a kind of like a lookout, but more importantly are the 2 sides. So when you're attacking, normally they will smoke this part here, right at where you were standing. Okay, so for defense smoke, you will see this over here. Okay, but for attack smoke, normally what they do is they do it on top over here. Can you see that?
Oh.
Yeah,
I
so
see
you
why.
hide there and then you're like, yep, so you're doomed. Then it also smokes the bottom. Can you see? It blocks the bottom of vision.
Yep.
Yeah, that's why Killjoys hide there because Killjoy doesn't need to see. The alarm board tells them when the enemy is here, they just trigger the bombs. They don't have to see. That's why whenever we see Killjoy stuff, we go straight for that because we know there's a Killjoy there. If we take Killjoy down, the traps are gonna be disabled anyways. Yeah. Okay, so this is like for Ascent. Questions for Ascent? No?
No, I don't really have any.
Okay, I wanna like change the how do I change the map? Hold on. End game phase. Is it end game phase? Swap team goes for next round. End game phase.
Right then. Some more of that, near in the shite.
Oh shit. Okay, wait. Might have to leave this one to redo another custom. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't really know how to make like this.
Have a rock in my shoe.
Yeah, okay, leave match. Just leave match. It's fine. No penalties for this. Yeah, and I'm gonna teach you like another map, which is gonna be the one with the teleportation device.
Wait, I think I remember that one.
It's one of my favorites actually. It's called Bind. Okay, on Bind, I usually use Viper. Normally. If there is no Viper, I will Viper. If there's a Viper, I will do other smokes.
No one can hold their breath forever. The lies we've told this city. Just to pry it open and suck it dry.
Okay, can you go to cheats? Escape, go to cheats. Can you try and swap over to my team? Go to player, swap team.
My ultimate is ready.
Swap team, there we go.
Yep, swap team. Are you on my team now?
Huh.
30 seconds left.
Okay, you're on my team now. Okay, there we go.
okay.
Respawn? Are you respawn? Oh, okay, you're that side. Okay, got it.
Remember, nobody's
Okay, yeah, okay.
trying.
Okay, nice, nice,
Okay.
nice. Alright, good. So now I can show you the ping stuff. Hold on.
Let me just buy the. Was it a bandit?
Yeah, Bandit and Vandal. You want these 2 guns, Bandit and Vandals. Okay, so on this map, okay, A is a little bit harder, B is a little bit more straightforward, but both of them have different difficulties because there is this thing called teleportation. Okay, this is one of the most assholic things to do. That is my favorite. Okay, if you take a look at the map, this one here comes from B, yes?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so if you come out from here, this is what we call showers. Normally, this place would be blocked out. This place here would be blocked out, alright? And this is a very bad entry point because you will be shot by that side, by that side, by this side, by this side.
Oh yeah.
That's why most people don't do this. But it is good sometimes to enter from here, especially when a lot of people are like fighting here. This is like a hot spot. We call these lamps, yes? This is lamps, okay? This one here. Reason why they like to control here is because you can hide twice. First time it's here.
Oh.
And if you miss, you can hide second time here. You can still
Oh.
get them. This is a very hot spot. Yeah, it's kind of hard to get to because while you're fighting the person here, usually there's another person there or up there. Okay, and they can hide anywhere on this map in the open. And your job when you're attacking with a spike is to run all the way here and plant right here at this box.
Okay.
Okay, and then if you fail at this one, some people they like to plant open, which is literally here. Okay, between the box and this corner here. And then if you fail and you come in by showers, the best place to plant is this. Yeah, but know that you can shoot through this green stuff. That's why it's a
Oh.
terrible location. It's a really terrible location. The best one is this box over here. Okay, this one over here in between the truck because you cannot shoot through the truck. Yeah, either that or in the open because you can get to it any direction. They won't know where you're from. Okay, so the one thing good about Viper is this. There is a lineup. If I remember correctly, it's like from here to like, oh shit, was it here? Or was it here?
Toxins going up.
It goes all the way to B actually. So if you would follow me,
Oh.
okay, there is a little bit of wall here. Can you see?
Yep.
Yeah, it's supposed to go all the way through, but I forgot the lineups to do this. So yeah, so now that we're at B, know that the retreat way is this side. So if you go to that, you go back to A. Yes. Normally we don't. Normally we don't. Okay, so for B, it's very simple. Most people should come by this one called gardens. Okay, so you come up by the long way there. But the bad part is normally if you're standing on a higher point, it's easier to shoot someone at a lower point, right? And they will have this thing called sniper. So if there is a sniper, this is terrible for everyone. Okay, you will need somebody to give flash. Okay, to blind people. But if you don't have that, then well, the chances are very very low for us to plant at B. But if we do get to this point over here, all right. So assume that this part here
Screen down.
will always be smoked off. Okay, so there are two things people have to do. You have to go in as a group, two parts. First group checks this corner here. Okay, at the back there and at the corner here. Second group has to go in here because there will always be a person hiding right here.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, so this is where we normally plant. I prefer B to A, all honesty. Okay, so the cipher would probably be here. A cipher camp would probably be up here or over here. Okay, ciphers like to do
Okay.
that. My favorite spot is this. There is nowhere to run.
Oh.
There is nowhere to run. But when they come here to plant, or when they come there to plant, or here to plant, I am always here to shoot them behind their backs. They usually don't check this corner. Sometimes they do, and if they do, don't continue hiding this corner. It's a terrible decision. Okay, because you got nowhere to run.
Wait, teacher. If say we were going from here,
Mm-hmm.
like from here,
Yep.
and you said like for that we need like a two people team.
Yep, you have to
Can
split.
I use this?
Uh-huh. Yep, so if you do that, you actually clear the entire back side here and here, right? But somebody still has to go here because your scan doesn't reach there.
Yeah.
So it's good.
Wait, I wanna try something.
Okay.
Can this reach it? It kind of can.
It would be better to shoot here. So that you can
Oh,
see this
okay.
side as well. See?
Oh,
If you
okay.
go there and someone is crouching over here, you can't actually scan the person behind the box here. Look at that. It blocks me.
Oh.
Yeah, so if it's there, it scans the entire area and there's no way you can hide in the back area over here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay, got it. So normally some places they plant, if it's not here, okay, then it will be this corner here or this corner here, or it can be inside over here. If they are really, really desperate, it's inside here. Which is actually kind of a shit decision for both ends because if it's inside here, it means that you have to go around this thing like a merry-go-round and see who catches who first. It's kind of dumb. It's kind of dumb. And then sometimes they plant it all the way on top here. Okay, they plant it on top here. I'm not sure if you can still do that, but like they do it on top because they are hiding in there. And the moment you come here, they will shoot you. Okay, that place is a hot spot. It's called hookah. This place is called hookah. Oh shit, I'm terrible at parkour. Huh! Okay, I got it. Nice, nice. Okay, this is a fucking terrible spot. Okay, so if I am bold, I stand here, the wall come down, I start shooting people there.
Oh.
But if I lose the fight, they will come rushing all the way in here. There's nothing here to stop them from going into side. Whoever is backing over here, usually a Cypher or a Sentinel, they're probably gonna die. Okay, this is like
Oh,
a
boy.
rush spot. And then once you get in, there's nothing left to stop you here. So that's terrible. But you, as a sage, if you are a sage, okay, you can wall off this part here.
Oh yeah. I
Okay,
see
to buy
skill.
time. I have ever played a sage. I put a wall up here. I stand on the wall and then I shoot from top of the wall. Everybody died here.
Ooh.
It was a one-time trick though. It doesn't work again. It doesn't work again. Don't risk it. This is bad. Okay, but the worst part is that if you stand here and you shoot there, and then they come in from the teleporter, which is possible and often happens, we kind of fucked. So yeah, normally a good sage wall is not inside. Guess where the good sage wall is? Like this. A good sage wall is this row. Okay, you can block the entire thing from this wall to that box. That's a good
Okay.
sage wall. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so you prevent them from going there. They either have to come from here, which somebody would be here already hiding, and they can take it out easily because it's like one straight line. See, it's easier to shoot that side. And then they have to go the long way. So that's how we play defense. In attack, there's no need to brain. There's just charge. Gun and charge. You don't even use abilities. Most times. Alright. Questions so far. This map is actually one of my favorite. Because you can teleport really quickly. You're like, oh no, there are too many people. Hold on. I want to change my mind for a second time. Yeah, let's go. And you come here and you're like, wait, hold on a second. I hear somebody there. You take on someone down and then you have 3 people left and you're like, okay, let's check this out. Yeah, and the enemies don't know where the fuck you are. You're like, oh, okay, I see stuff here. You take another one out there. You're like, okay, and then you wait because you hear there are people coming here. You're like, oh, 3 people left. And then you go back again. And then you're like, huh, B is now empty. Holy fuck. And then you plant there and they're like, where the fuck are you?
Oh.
That's-
okay.
That's why it's my favorite. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but alright.
Can you hear the rain sound from
Nope.
my thing?
Nope.
Oh my goodness.
I think
It's really loud.
the filter is good. Don't worry. Filter is good.
Oh,
Alright.
thank goodness.
Questions for buying? No? Then I'm gonna go to Hervit's favorite map, Lotus.
Ooh. Okay.
Right, leave
So
match.
leave game, right?
Yep, leave. No, not leave game. Leave match. Match.
Oh, okay. That was what I meant.
Can you come over to attacker side? Okay, that's it.
Ooh.
Good, nice. Okay, so now we're gonna try Lotus. Lotus is... Ah,
Pretty.
it is pretty, but it's a thing. Okay, I'm gonna do Killjoy this time. I'm gonna show you how Killjoy plays on this map.
I'm just gonna go with this guy.
It's over. I'm gonna show you how Killjoy is on this map. Killjoy is pretty good on Site C. It's good generally as an information collector, but its strength is on Site C defense because Killjoy can lock down the entire Site C one person by herself. And Lotus, unlike the other maps that I've shown you so far, which only has A and B, this has A, B, and C. Look at that. So we gotta... Yeah, the manpower is a little bit strange on this one. I'm gonna enable all the cheats now.
My ultimate is ready.
Okay, so I'm gonna go to this. Alright, pause match timer. Let's go. Alright, so we're gonna go to C first. I'm gonna show you how a Killjoy works. They changed it a little bit, so when we are attacking, be very careful. Normally Killjoys will put this up here, alright? The turret's up there. I don't know if I can still reach it though. I don't think I can reach it anymore. They changed it, huh? Wait, I can. Alright, so we put the turrets up there. And then we check. People would normally be there. Alright, do you see it?
Where the ultimate Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay. People will normally be there. Be very careful. So because they will very likely blind you. So look away. Whenever there's blind, look on the floor. Look away. Don't get blinded. If you get blinded, you're gonna die. Okay. This door doesn't often open, but sometimes it does. I will show you later. This side they changed it. So there's a little box here now. Previously wasn't. Cipher would be great as well. Killjoy would be great as well. Normally, Killjoy sets up a turret right here. There used to be 2 boxes, but I guess they changed it now, so it's not there. Okay, so normally, this guy will be here, because it will check this entire lane here. Okay, if it's not there, then Killjoy's turret would be in this corner up here on this box. Can you see that? Okay, so you have to actually come in and shoot it. But the thing is, they're gonna put one here as well. Okay, and then they're gonna put one over there at the door. And then they're gonna put one over here because most people will come up to this corner, yes? Okay, so for example, if they hear it trigger or they hear it shoot, immediately a Killjoy who is hiding usually up here. Okay, normally it's up here. Okay, you stand there and you take a look at my grenades. Stand there and take a look at my grenades, how they're gonna detonate. Alright, so for example, you are the enemy now. Right? This is how it's gonna look like. I'm going to detonate this one first. Sorry. Okay, and then I'm gonna detonate this one. Look at that. Okay, so between here they will hop, and then they will have to run through this at the same time. They will get damaged. Okay, the entire stretch. But I didn't really place it right. It's supposed to be like the entire stretch. Yeah, I'm rusty. Yeah, this is how it looks like.
Oh.
Yeah, see?
So there's an overlap.
Yeah, there's an
They
overlap.
don't
So
have much.
yeah, because if they run through the entire thing, guess what? They're gonna die immediately before even they reach the site. Okay, so when they reach the site, normally this is the planting spot. Okay, this is what we call open plant. Okay, this spot here is so that they can look from the outside. They are hiding outside if they plant here. If they don't plant there and they plant here, somewhere here, right? Okay, if they plant somewhere here or they plant somewhere here, chances are if they hide over here, they are hiding in there or they are hiding in there. Okay, if they plant in the open, which is like the best spot to plant open plant, means that they can hide there or there or there. See that? Okay, so C is powerful for Killjoy. With that setup alone, I can kill like literally 3 people who are pushing in through at once.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, as a Killjoy. Okay, now we're gonna go to B. B is a desperate site situation. Normally, people won't do B because it's kind of stupid unless, like, you know, you don't have a choice, then yes, you go to B. Okay, B has changed a little bit from when I last remembered. This part here didn't used to be so wide, right? But now they can hide in this corner, which honestly pisses me off. And then here is normally the default plant for B itself, which kind of sucks. Basically anywhere in B is bad, alright? B is like a fast rotation thing to A. What I do is that I usually place a turret, not a turret, sorry, an alarm board right here, okay? Just to let me know who is coming in, alright? Because my other one, the turret, I have a range. It's gonna be here in A. Okay, not here, but here. Okay, I am able to see it. And then, because I have a range for both these things, I can only be here as a Killjoy. So I have that information if anybody comes in, and I have that information if anybody is at A. But normally, Killjoy can take down 3 people at C. So Killjoy is normally at C. But it is possible to do this here as well. Okay, so if you're Killjoy and you want to play Killjoy, this is for information. C is where you actually hold on the site. Alright, but if I'm going to do an A setup, that's going to be actually really easy. Because A is really small. Look at that. A is really small. Good place to plant will be here in this corner. Or the people come in, they plant in this side. Okay? Only these 2 places. A is fun because A, you can do this. Okay? It sees the people coming in from tree, and it also sees people coming in from main. Both at the same time. And then, because of this, the moment it sees people, what you can do is prevent them from planting at all. See this? Okay, the circle lines up with the planting site thing. So you leave it in here. This is how you know they're in back site. Okay, if they're at the back of site. And if they're placing it in default, So literally, if they trigger my alarm ball or I hear anything goes off, one of that there, one of that there, they cannot plant. Hey, this is not so good. It has to be a little bit closer, right? It's got a little bit closer, but that's generally how it's played.
Yeah,
Bot
I
coming
get it.
back.
Yeah, okay, so if you play Killjoy, this is gonna be a very fun map. Okay, so people normally when they stand guard here, alright? One of them will be here because they would definitely push here, alright? Some people, they are here. They like to hide behind this, shoot you from there, come up here, shoot you from here. So okay? And then there is like the last one. This is one that I hate the most. Snipers, right? They have a sniper. They stand right here. They shoot you. They run away. They shoot you. They run away. And then you get picked off here. So that's kind of scary.
Actually, can I try to be a sniper?
Yeah, go for it. Swap teams.
Wait, what's
Okay, I'll swap team.
wait, what's a sniper?
Usually they use an operator. You can try outlaws or operator. Marshal's like the cheap one. It doesn't do much. Normally it's operator.
Oh.
Hey, use mine. It has skin.
Gun.
Ah.
Alright,
Ooh. Pretty.
it's a battle pass one. Okay, so for example, I'm coming in from here. Okay, I'm gonna come in from here. Look at that.
Oh, okay. I see it. I see. I'm so bad.
Yeah, it's hard. Okay, oh, you got me there. Okay, it requires reflex, and it also requires
Yeah.
internet internet speed ping. If you don't have speed ping, it's not gonna work.
Yeah, I don't have ping.
It is
I
fun
don't have
though.
the ping
It is fun.
here.
Okay, the
Yeah.
rule of operators, if any of the enemy team or your team buys it, then you pick it up. It's yours to have fun with.
Okay.
Normally we don't buy it because it's expensive, right? If you take a look at the
Yeah.
money, it's like what, 4,700. A
Yeah.
vendor is only 2,009.
Mhm.
So if anybody
Very
actually
big
has,
difference.
yeah, if anybody has an operator, usually if Makoto is here, Makoto will op. he's he's the pro. He will outlaw. He will op, and then he will pick them off. Oh yeah, the machine gun. You like that? You like that? It's very powerful. Let me teach you where it's
Yeah.
good. Let me teach you where it's good. If you have a machine gun, it's usually here. See the door? See this door? You can shoot through the door. You
Wait,
can
where
shoot
are you?
door in tree. Yeah, you can
Oh,
actually
okay.
shoot through this door. For example, the people are here,
Oh.
right? Yeah, you can shoot through the door. Look at that. Wait. Yep, you definitely can shoot through the door. See? So whoever's near the door at the switch, you can shoot through the door. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, that's what the fun of it is. Okay, you wanna try some maps?
Yeah.
Real ones?
I'm a bit scared, but sure.
So the concept of all the maps are the same, by the way. Okay, I'm just saying
Uh-huh.
it's all the same.
Uh-huh.
Okay, let's go to retake. Okay, retake is pretty simple. There are only 3 people. You don't have to deal with the spikes at all. You can buy whatever guns you need in that. But yeah, we don't use abilities at all. Okay,
Okay.
right?
Oh, right. Before that, I want to show you something.
Oh shoots! I accidentally left party. Oops. I
Oh.
re-invite you. I'm sorry.
Leave match. There we go.
Yeah, what do you want to show me?
Well, it's something that I can only show in game.
Okay, so we're gonna do retake. Retake is only in the site, yes? So you don't have to worry about abilities, you don't have to worry about having like, planting the spike or anything like that. Okay, just focus on the gun, finding where enemies are gonna come from, standing still while you shoot them, and giving information. Oh, look, we have the map that we went through earlier.
Oh, yay!
Yay! Yeah, I'm definitely going on Clove. I'm locking it in.
Got all the time in the world.
I kind of like how Killjoy looks.
Oh, she's gay. There's a reason why she looks amazing.
I can see from the gloves, you know? Those are archery gloves, by the way.
Oh, really?
Kind of. The archery gloves don't have the middle fingers, but other than that, yeah.
Ah, I thought she was like an engineer, so I don't know. Do you know who her girlfriend is?
Sage?
No,
Jet?
Race,
Protect the spike.
Wait, the scary one?
the one with the grenades. She fixes a grenade. Also, okay, so I'm gonna smoke.
Mhm.
I'm gonna smoke.
Watching here. No peeking.
It's definitely here.
Oh, I see someone.
Enemy spotted. B.
Ah, dang it.
Standing.
Oh,
Okay.
ow.
Well, that was not a good position. I want to
Yeah.
rotate next.
Flawless.
I want to rotate next. I'm not gonna stay on site. I am not gonna stay on site. I refuse to stay on site.
Yeah.
Defuse the spike.
Defuse the spike? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Okay, well, we're gonna defuse the spike. Where is the spike? B. Okay, we're gonna go B.
No charges.
Spike planted.
The A or B? B.
I can hear a battle.
It's not this side. I saw a jet.
I got you covered.
No, you don't.
Oh my goodness,
I was checking inside.
Oh!
Oh, we're gonna die.
Yeah,
Well,
dang it.
I'm not good enough to carry anyone. I'm just saying, I'm just very happy that Valorant has not actually kicked me out just yet.
Yeah.
Oh, between Guardian and Bulldog, god dang it.
See you on the other side.
Guardian it is, man. Oh, Valorant crashed. Valorant's crashed. Valorant's crashed. Fuck.
Oh. Oh. No.
Graphics drivers, something crashed. Oh, I'm fucked.
Oh no.
Well, I'm gonna load it real quick. You're on your own for now. I'm so sorry, chat.
Oh, I got flash. Immediately.
They're good. I'm sorry, chat. I knew this was gonna happen. I did say my Valorant was giving me issues. I can't play Apex either because of the anti-cheat thing that they updated. I think my thing is kind of
We died
old.
again.
It died again? It's okay. Don't worry about that. I'm trying to log in again before they kick me. I kind of knew this was gonna happen, man.
And
I do
having
like
network problems too.
you too. Damn. Okay, I
Yeah.
do like the game Valorant, but I might have to go to CS2, CS or something, CS2 instead of Valorant, only because it's terrible. And Outlaw? Are you fucking kidding me? Where is it?
Spike planted.
Dang it. Got one! Oh, dang it. I was gonna pistol.
Last player standing.
Oh no.
Yep.
No peeking.
Pistol, 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 classic. It's faster to use the classic. Okay, so you got your main weapon and your secondary weapon. If your main weapon sucks like this, we're gonna go for classic. Okay. Go for classic. Oh, there's a
Oh,
Vandal.
there's
I'm gonna go for a Vandal.
okay. I'm going Vandal too.
Drop in a smoke.
What?
Wait, what? I didn't even.
One enemy remaining.
Come on, we can do this. We can win against bots.
Bots? They're not bots.
Surely. Oh, they're not?
They're players. What do you mean?
Right here.
I didn't know.
No peeking.
They're players. All of us are players. What do you mean by bots? It's not bots. It's players. We're all players.
Because I saw their names and they're all like just the names of, you know. Oh, there's a Vandal.
Yeah, we can pick Vandal. Are we going A or are we going B?
I mean, I'm with you, so.
Spike planted.
It's B. We're going B. Man, I am bad at smoking this.
No peeking. Drop in a smoke.
I just want blood.
Oh,
Oh, dang it!
Player
oh,
standing.
oh.
Ah, camping in the corner. Ah. Yeah, but anyway, this game mode is good for practicing your entries and your defusers. Yeah.
Huh?
Normally in a game, they're down the last 3 guarding a site because 2 would have been picked off, 1 in mid, 1 in opposite side, something like that, right? So it's actually really good for practicing. Alright, it's just that the internet connection is terrible.
Yeah.
How is it? It was
It's
okay.
hard.
Hard? It's hard. Okay.
Yeah.
There actually is another game mode whereby you don't have to use abilities at all. Just pick the gun that you're comfortable with. It's called Skirmish. It's just nice. It's for 2 people. Would you want to try?
Yeah.
Okay, it doesn't have maps. You just see an enemy and you shoot. That's it.
Okay.
So normally they pick Vandals, but if you wanna try, you can go for Bandits this whole round.
Mm-hmm.
Because Bandits, honestly, I love pistols, right? The recoil is easy to control. Everything else is hard. Rifles are hard. Op is impossible.
I kind of don't feel the I don't really feel the recoil at all.
Really? Okay, then you can stick with the Vandal. I feel it. Because it shakes the screen before the reset and my terrible eyesight. So, so it actually
Oh
affects
my.
me really bad.
Yeah.
I'm surprised I can even play the game, man. Yeah, if I really can't load Velo due to the anti-cheat thingy and the graphics card thingy that keeps on crashing, I might actually go to CS2. I might actually downgrade, go back to basic CS2. No fancy abilities, no fun graphics, no magical powers, just gun. Because Apex doesn't even load for me, man.
Oh my.
Yeah, it loads and then it freezes screen right in the middle there. I was like, what the and I happened to manage to kill 7 people in a row before my screen froze and killed me.
Oh my.
I'm it's worse than Valorant, I feel. Also, my thing is shaking. It's not a good sign. It's shaking. Why is it shaking? My screen is shaking. It's gonna crash again. Chat, it's gonna crash.
Oh no.
Okay, it didn't crash. Choose your gun.
I will hold
Okay.
Okay, you go left, I go right. Oh, you wanna go right?
Okay. I'm good going right left.
Okay, so check.
Oh. I got one-shotted.
It's okay.
This world will know my name.
Yeah, okay, so don't really run. Remember to check corners, right? Let me show you how to check. So slice, check. No, nobody here. Check again. Move, check. Oh, somebody's coming here. One is there. It's definitely there. Hold it. Don't move. Okay, never mind.
I got one shot in. Exactly one shot.
Yep. Okay, remember to adjust crosshair placements, yeah? Because I saw that you were a little bit low. Raise it a little bit more.
Yeah.
I'm going to the right side this time. Oh, they... Double angle, what is that? 120 jet.
Oh my goodness.
Wait, you were lagging. I saw you were lagging.
Yeah.
Forward.
I didn't
Okay.
see them at all.
Yeah, you were lagging. It's okay. You were lagging.
I'm gonna try something.
Feel free. I'm gonna hear them. Oh! Hey, the gecko likes... Okay, that's good. That's actually good. I support that.
Enemy spotted mid.
At least I didn't.
Oh, they have the same strats. Lily! they got a machine gun too. They got a machine... I'm going to left. I'm going to the left. I know who's gonna come up here.
Yeah, it's Jet. Oh, I see someone.
I got that.
Oh, I got a headshot.
Oh,
at
dang.
least.
Headshot!
Yeah, headshot.
Who?
Gecko.
Gecko? Ah, dang, I lost the fight.
Oh, me too. Didn't even hit him.
This is
I know, my crosshair was low.
Yeah.
I'm gonna wait for him to come.
Oh,
Ah, 80.
I hate this.
They were crouching. They were crouching. It was there. They were crouching.
Maybe we should crouch too.
Nope. That's not a good thing. I mean, you can, but I won't recommend it.
Go away. There.
Ha!
Oh my
You
goodness.
thought. I'm gonna close in. Fire at wheel. Fire at wheel. Oh, dang. Ah, I could have gotten him. It's okay. Fire at wheel. Spam. He's right there. He's right there. What? No. No knife. No knife. You can wall bang, I think. Maybe. No, he's to your right. He's to your right. He's to your right. It's okay.
Competition.
It's okay. Okay, that was a 34. Dang it. No, no. It's too heavy. It's too heavy.
Oh.
It's too heavy. Wall bangable.
Oh, they can shoot through it.
Yeah, that's why I say
fine.
you can shoot through it. Yeah, machine gun kind of works for you. You should
Okay.
probably stick to it.
Yeah.
Ah,
Oh.
I don't like that they have machine gun strats. I'm gonna stand in spawn. I'm not even gonna move. Ah. They didn't crouch this time. Rage baiting me. Rage baiting
Oh, my
me.
goodness.
They didn't crouch this time.
Oh.
Alright, so this is how gun aim is trained over many games and progressively, probably over years. Don't be like Gecko, okay? Don't be like Gecko. I'm not against machine guns, but I'm saying it's not gonna help your aim, okay?
Okay.
Alright. So, you wanna go for a swift play?
What's that?
A swift play is kind of like regular match, except it's shorter. It's first to 5 wins. A regular match, like unrated, is first to 13 wins, which is very long. Yeah,
Oh.
swift play is like shorter. It's like maybe 15-20 minutes, but a real unrated match can go to like 45 minutes. Or you want to play the fun one, team deathmatch, whereby you respawn infinitely until the first team gets 100 kills. Every team gets 5 people. You can do whatever.
Oh, okay.
Team
That sounds
deathmatch?
good.
Yeah, that sounds fun, right? That's usually what we do as a warm up, not gonna lie. I do it as a warm up. Because it's just like see people, shoot people. See people, shoot people. That's about it. Yeah. And they go through like 4 different gun phases, so you can choose your favorite one every time.
Ooh,
I
okay.
only stick with pistols mostly. You can tell why, huh?
Yeah.
Good try. Thank you, Chowdy. I try my best. I am existing in a game that rejects my graphic card. I have no choice. I don't hate FPS, okay? I'm just gonna say this right now. I don't hate it, but it's difficult to run it. And also, I used to have a duo. Bleach. Holy shit, wait, I don't know this map. It's new. I'm sorry, Lily.
Oh no.
I've never seen this. I've never seen this.
I'm just gonna.
I want something with a flash. Where's Phoenix? Maybe we can do Phoenix. Oh, someone's taken Phoenix already. God dang it. Okay.
By the way, how do you get more agents?
And you have to play a lot to unlock money in game to get them,
Oh,
or buy them,
okay.
which I'm no way in hell I'm gonna do.
goodness.
I don't know who to pick. I don't know who to pick.
I've got all the time in the world.
I default to Butterfly Girl because I don't know who to pick. I don't hate FPS chat. I might not be the best at it, okay? But like, I don't have my duo in FPS to play with me. It used to be Makoto desho. Makoto died. I haven't seen him in like since a year or something now. It's kind of crazy.
Reloading. Reloading.
Woo! Okay, I don't know the map. Holy shit.
Wait, why can't I buy?
B. No, you can only buy like the top row right now. When stage 2 comes,
Oh,
then you
okay.
can buy new guns. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No peeking.
Oh, that was bad.
Oh my goodness. Oh, I can leave in time.
Ow, my eyes! Who blind me? The bleach
no.
breach blinded me. Whoever that was though, holy hell.
No peeking. Reloading.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Where are they? Oh. Oh.
I am just holding an angle.
Oh.
One of these.
Ow, that hurt. Sit down.
Drop in a smoke. Woo! Not ready yet.
I don't like this. I'm holding it.
Ooh. Oh,
Four in the dark.
oh.
I don't like this. I'm holding it.
I'm one of these.
Oh, dang it. Okay. I blew.
There's a sage nearby.
I can tell. Kinda.
Drop in a smoke.
Oh, she's going down.
Right here.
Got that.
Oh. At least I got a hit.
I'm just gutting at angles right now because some people are really, really into this.
Yeah, that's not gonna help me.
Wait, I hear something. What? What the motherfucking agent is this? Okay, I'm gonna go first. You follow.
Wait, where? Oh, I see you.
We're guarding this one. Yeah, it's supposed to cover me. Swing, swing with me, you know, swing. Not ability, gun, but okay, that works too. That works too. Oh, I'm solo. I'm solo. Okay, I'm gonna smoke.
Mhm.
No peeking.
Okay, there's only one entrance there. I got it. Oh, I'm
Oh.
solo. Oh, damn that chamber. Alright, we got a
I
vendor.
just saw it.
I'm on. We got chamber. We got chamber. I need smokes, y'all. I need smokes. Are my smokes? That was a waste. もったいないね。
Yeah. Oh my goodness, I almost died.
It's okay. Woohoo!
Oh my goodness.
Someone's coming in. Oh dang, 80. He's got better aim than me. Where's the chamber? Oh,
I got an
okay.
assist.
Yeah. Someone must have killed him after me.
Oh my
Dang.
goodness. I got jump scared. So badly.
There we go.
You want to play? Let's play.
Have a kit. Reloading.
Oh, she charged right into that. Oh dang it, I lost the fight with Sage. How? How did I lose against the Sage? Where from? Harmonita is right there. Holy shit, he was in the open.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness, what happened?
Drop in a smoke.
I think I just killed someone.
Nice! Oh wait, there's an op. I'm gonna have to kill this op. I'm gonna have to kill the op. That op is seriously. That opper though, holy hell.
Oh. I got a few hits in. Oh,
Yeah, there we go. I got the opper. Fuck you. There we go. Fuck you. Oh, we won. I was gonna have a
Oh.
rematch with the breach there. I was like, fuck you. I made him drop his op. I made him lose the op. He was so mad. He tried to ability dump kill me. No, no, no.
Oh my.
No, no, no. Oh, you have like 5 assists. Not bad. Not bad. How is it? This is more fun, right?
Yeah, more fun.
This one's more fun than the duo thing and the spike thing. But those actually train your technical skills. This one's just for fun.
Yeah.
Holy shit, that breach is fucking salty. 29 kills, motherfucker. That Phoenix is 35. Oh, okay. Well. Alright, yep. Okay, we have great carries. Look at that. Okay, our team are like top 3. And then we're like bottom fragging. It's okay.
Wait, where are you?
Oh, so you go to like the scoreboard, right? And you can see who is there.
Oh.
Yeah, so the green ones are like our team. And then the red ones are like enemy team. So you can see like the 3 top there. Like, okay,
Yep,
anything that's close to
our
30
team.
kills. Yeah, anything that's close to 30 kills means that they are like aim gods, you know?
Oh my.
Yeah, so we have almost 2 of them who are aim gods. I am like mid tier. I'm like 13, okay? Anything less than 10 is like bottom tier. Normally I'm in like bottom 3. No, bottom 3 me, but it's okay because you're new, okay? You're new, so it's
Yeah.
okay. When you
Wait,
get like
what's
consistent kills, and that's when you know you are ready to play actual games like Spike Rush and Unrated and maybe comps.
I
Yeah?
apparently I'm worse than a AFK guy.
No, that guy AFK'd halfway through, okay? If he never actually
Oh.
AFK'd and he never lost connection, he didn't AFK by the way, he lost connection. If he didn't lose connection, he might have been like up there above me and I would have been bottom fragging. That Sage was actually pretty good. Okay, I'm not gonna lie,
Yeah.
I had that Sage a few times. If I wasn't off angle, it would have out aimed me. I'm just gonna say. Alright, you wanna go again?
Yeah.
Alright, let's go. And there are like
Yippee!
three maps. If I'm not wrong, there are like 3 team deathmatch maps. It's been a while since I played Valorant. Yeah. I don't remember, but it's fun.
Yeah.
This one's like the best game mode that they've launched so far. I think. I like it so much. Piazza, this is good for Sova.
Ooh.
Okay, you see the octopus tentacle? Yeah, or the window. You can shoot at the octopus tentacle or the window, and it's a great spot for your arrows to scan anything and everything. Why did they take that? No. No, why did they have to take that?
There.
Yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna lock in Phoenix, I guess. I don't know.
Take a seat. I got this.
Take a seat. I've got this.
Hello guys, bingot ako.
Oh,
Okay, I'm gonna mute them.
what was that?
Tagalog, Filipino. So normally in Valorant, I mute everyone who is not somebody I know, because chances are they are gonna be a piece of shit.
Oh, that was.
The rule of thumb: I always assume that anyone in FPS is a dick, which 90% of the times they kind of are. They're just toxic people with no life, small dicks, no maidens, and they just want to be like, oh, it's your fault that we lost this match. We're in Manila server right now, which explains. So like yeah, any comp games like competitive games, they have a lot of toxic gamers like League of Legends, Valorant, even in Dead by Daylight, which is kind of surprising for me, not gonna lie. Dead by Daylight. Tomorrow I'm gonna have a collab. I don't know. Do you have the game, Lily? Do you have the game, Dead by Daylight?
I'm thinking of buying it.
Wow, if you do, let's play. That game is
Yeah,
so.
I want to try.
Wow.
I want to try.
You
Maybe
should.
I will.
You should. Okay, come here. Lily, come here.
Wait, where are you?
Come here,
Oh,
come
there
here.
you are.
Okay, stand here. Shoot there. That second window. Do you see that? Shoot the arrow at the second window. That's a very good one.
Nothing.
Nope, they're not out yet.
Oh my
My
goodness.
fucking up here. That bitch. I got that bitch. I don't know how I got that bitch. I got that bitch.
I saw an enemy phoenix.
What? What? How did what?
I saw a flash of orange. Oh my goodness.
We're all terrible. We're all fucking terrible.
Oh my goodness.
Stupid average Valorant experience. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh my
I'm
goodness.
sorry. Can I say that I don't know how to Phoenix? I'm so sorry. I'm blind. I like how it is. I love myself. Yo, what the fuck is that? Huh? It was right there. Whoa!
Oh, I just got recon bolted.
Ah, dang it. Scan it. Okay. Wow, the sheriff is really...
Oh, I just saw an enemy Sova.
Yeah, they kind of do exist. Your clones in Valorant, they do exist in alternate timelines. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I saw the tutorials.
I'm just gonna hold this angle here, yo. I'm not moving. That's a bad one. Oh, damn. Weapon. What weapon? It's a bulldog. Holy motherfuckeroni. Valorant is a horror game, y'all. Valorant is a horror game, though.
I know. Oh
What
my
is this?
goodness. Oh, goodness.
My
Oh my goodness. I
eyes.
almost died. Oh my god. Oh.
I blind, you blind, everybody blind.
Going up.
Go, go, go. This way.
I don't see, you don't see, everybody not seeing. What the fuck am I shooting? I'm gonna die. Enemy is right here. Oh fuck. That was a shotty. That was like shotgun. That was a shotgun. Why is that shotgun? Skiddly
Oh
doo.
my goodness.
What the heck? No.
Oh my goodness. I had another kill. Another kill.
Sit down. Down, boy.
Oh.
Oh, I'm so bad at flashing. What the fuck did I flash?
Oh my
Alright.
goodness.
Oh, I have a Vando at last. I have a Vando. Oi. That's not good. Where do you go? Where?
That is
What?
terrifying. Oh my goodness.
It's a scatter. I don't know where to, bro. It was right behind me. How was it right behind me? You motherfucker.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my god, we are so bad. So bad. Okay, I need to carry. I need to lock in, y'all. I need to gun this down. I need to lock in, y'all. I'm a seasoned pro. Not really. I don't know
Oh,
who I'm
no.
doing.
Oh,
Got that.
I just got murdered.
Look sharp.
Oh dang it, I lost to myself. The pride will not allow me. I'm a phoenix. I'm toxic. How dare you?
Going up.
Ah, I lost to him again. Really? Our top fragger is only 13. I can do this. He's not that difficult to get.
No, you don't.
Knew it. I got it in me, yo. I got it in me, chat. I'm a toxic gamer. Ow. Fear me.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my god.
I need
Okay.
better reaction time.
Yeah, those things can be earned with like practice. Not worry.
Yep. Oh, oops.
I got that one.
Oh my goodness, I almost got it.
Almost is good. Almost is improvement. See? That's what I meant. You can do this. Got one. Got two. Oh, this is bad. Oh, this is bad. Where am I? Who am I? What am I? Ha 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 ha. No Odin for you.
Oh my goodness.
No Odin for you.
Like I never left.
Why do I hear so many people behind me? They're coming in from somewhere.
Oh my goodness.
What?
I got killed by my clone.
The fuck is that? Huh?
Oh, oops.
I'm
I
so
just
fucking
wasted
low.
one of-
I'm a Chad.
Oh.
I need healing. Oh, that lost my streak. What was my streak? I don't know my streak. I lost my streak. I'm sad. I'm a Chad.
Oh my goodness, where did that come from?
That was two teamed. Oh, watch flank. Which side?
goodness.
Side, sorry, not flank.
Oh.
Oh, I could have won that.
Oh, I just got 2 kills in a row. Oh my goodness.
I see you're improving. Possible, isn't it?
Oh my goodness. He died again.
Going up.
Oh,
They're that side.
I've got your trail.
ooh.
Oh, dang it. Cover me, Gecko. Holy shit. I'm gonna wait for it.
Oh.
Nowhere to run. Watch your eye.
Oh my god, what is that? Holy fuck. Oh my god. How are they doing this? This is bad. This is really bad.
Oh,
I can't believe we're
Oh,
losing.
oh my
I
goodness.
can't believe we're losing.
we were winning too. Oh my
We have to
goodness.
win. We have to win. I got triple teamed. Oh my god, that's not possible. We lost. We actually lost. No, no, no. I was doing so well, Chad. I was doing so well.
Yeah, me too. That's
You were doing good. You had improvement, Lily. That was really good improvement. Look at that.
a lot of improvement.
When you turn off your brain, you have confidence. Your aim just comes in, doesn't it? You have 8. Oh my god, it's almost a double digit. Look at that. You are great.
My goodness.
8. Look at that, Lily. You actually got 8. Holy shit. That's almost 10% of the entire carry. Oh my god, that's almost 10%. You almost got 10% of 100. Look at that. Also, hello, I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your name. Hello, yes, use background noise. Thank you. Hold on, let me give a shout out. Shout out, RVYLZ.
One of them.
Hmm?
The top 2. The number 2 is Vietnamese.
Yeah, I saw.
Yeah.
They were good. Okay, they were actually kind of good. The
Their
Phoenix.
username is stupid.
Really?
Literally. It yeah.
It was called
Stupid reading
stupid.
it.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, Lily, oh my god, look at the scoreboard. You are not the worst Sova. You are the better Sova twin. Look at that. Oh my god. Congratulations. You are the better Silver Twin. I am the worst Phoenix Twin though, but you are the better Silver Twin. Look. Look. That was so good.
Goodness.
That was so good. Improvement.
Very much
Arr.
so.
Arr. Alright. One last? One
Yay.
last?
Yeah. Last
Okay,
game.
one last. Alright, and then after that, I'm gonna hit dinner and I'm gonna rest for today. My god, home workout
Yeah.
was still as tiring as going to the gym. Not gonna lie,
Yeah.
probably even
Did
worse.
you remember to cool down?
I did stretch, but like the humidity working at home, like workout at
Yeah, I
home.
know, right?
Like the gym has AC, that's why it's like much easier to continue like the workout. It doesn't get as difficult. But like if you do it at home and it's
Yeah.
humid, god, that is terrible. Oh, it's the same map? Ah, we know what to do now. We know what
Yep.
to do now. Yay! Alright, I'm gonna wait to see what other people pick. I guess I'm going with Phoenix. I got this. Don't worry, chat. I got this. I don't got this. Yo, that was a roll, man. Like what, 7 kills in a row? Chat, did you see that just now? I think I got 7 in a row before I was killed, and then I was on a losing streak. I don't know why.
Hmm.
That was fucking crazy. I was just locked in, y'all.
Yeah.
Freaking locked in. Lily was locked in too. Did you see? Oh my god. Lily had 8 kills. 8! I don't remember ever having that high number of kills, even when I played this when I first started. Maybe you have talent,
Me
Lily.
neither.
You have
This is the
talent.
highest I've.
I know. I feel like you have talent for FPS. You just got to, you just gotta work the social anxiety out, and you would be god sniping everyone. Is it because you're Vietnamese? I'm just like, You're like, you choose
I did learn
violence.
archery.
Oh, that is true. Holy, oh, you are natural. I am not natural. I had to learn for like a year. You are natural. I feel like if you can work out the anxiety and like the nerves, you would be a lot better than me. Hell, you'll be carrying me in like a few months. Wait, what happened? Oh, did somebody get?
Eh?
Did somebody get? Oh, somebody disconnected halfway. They're gonna
Oh.
re-queue us. It's okay. They're gonna re-queue us. Maybe it's a new map. If it's a new map, we gotta. This map!
Oh.
Okay, this
great.
one has zip lines. It has zip lines in the middle.
Oh.
Yeah, it has zip lines in the middle, which means I'm gonna play smokes. I don't trust
I'm
it.
gonna try Killjoy.
Really?
Yeah, I'm gonna try.
Okay, I feel like
he would try.
there is a very good site place that allows for turrets.
Mhm.
Yeah, I feel like I remember. I think this is my third time seeing this map. They got a lot of team deathmatch maps now though. This is like our permanent. If we play Valorant or FPS, Lily, you and I will be just doing team deathmatch over and over.
Yeah.
It's just so fun. I like this so much.
Yeah.
This is based in Thailand, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
They
I think so.
it looks like
Wait,
it.
it still says Singapore.
Oh no, the server is in Singapore. All right.
Oh.
I'm gonna tell you, like, I only play on 2 servers, Singapore or Manila, right? Because if I go to Hong Kong, well, you won't even have 8 kills. I'm just gonna say that. Hong Kong people are Chinese, and Chinese people are very sweaty.
Yeah.
Which is why Anzu is so good. She's a gold or platinum in Hong Kong. When she comes to Manila, she's immediately like immortal or something. She's like top tier in fragging. It's crazy because she trained in like hell. She trained in hell. She suffered for this. Her ancestors bled tears of blood for her to be this good.
Oh.
Drop in a smoke.
Oh, it's up there.
Right here. Reloading.
Heh! You thought I was ready,
Oh, oh.
bitch.
They're coming. They're coming from behind. They're coming from behind.
Right here. One less.
It's okay, I got this. Ow! Who flashed that? Where is this guy from? This is our team. I have no eyes. I have no eyes.
Oh no, oh no, oh no. Someone's here, someone's here. Oh!
I heard it. It's fine.
Another kill!
Right here.
Nice.
Reloading.
Okay, you can put a turret up there. Oh, this stupid Sky is like sabotaging.
Oh my goodness. That was close.
I'm not standing near the Sky. Fuck that shit. He was laughing. Did you hear that? He was fucking laughing. Oh my fucking god. Yeah, the guy is too close.
Ooh. I just sniped someone.
Good. There we go. That's what I wanted to do.
Oh, I see an enemy.
Alright, good for you.
No peeking.
Nice. Wow,
Oh,
that,
no.
that Sky seriously just likes blinding people like crazy. 102. What did she get? She get an Aries. God, I hate that. I'm gonna go for Sheriff.
Oh my goodness, what was that?
Sabotage. It sounds like sabotage. I'm just saying.
Refreshing.
Wait, I want a weapon. I don't have the weapon. Why don't I have the weapon? What?
Oh my goodness. I got surprised.
Uh-huh, I can see that.
Drop in a smoke.
Okay, our Sky is actually good at guns, surprisingly, even though they flash my eyes like 600 times. You might not want to push. It's okay, I'm
Wait,
holding it.
you said that the turret
Oh.
can go here. Oh,
Yeah,
I
I
saw that.
I did. I said that. I know I said that. That's why the turret is good for knowing if anybody is in the background for us. All the ADS here is so shit. I should have gotten a guardian. I'm sorry. I should have never doubted my guardian. I should have never doubted my guardian. My ADS here is so shit. I'm so
Oh my goodness, I killed one. I killed another one.
good. Oh, B. Give me that. Give me that. Oh,
Oh,
I like my gun. I like my gun.
I haven't been using my abilities.
It's okay. I'm blind.
Joke's over. You're dead.
Oh,
Right here. Reloading.
Oh, dang it.
I got a Northern.
154.
Caution here. Have one of these. Not ready yet.
Ah.
Oh, I lost my Odin.
I got hit. I know where they are. Ha! You do not get high grounds on my watch, Jet. Although I am not top fragging, I'm so sorry. I should focus on gunning.
Oh,
Oh, that's Mick. Oh, that's not Nick. That's way late. Oh.
Oh, I see someone. I see someone.
All good. Got it.
Clean kill. Have one of these. Not ready yet.
Wait, how did they? Just behind the wall and everything.
No peeking.
Oh, it's right here. Jesus fucking Christ. Got it. Okay, we got the sniping jet. Oh, oh, that was a double side.
Oh,
It's okay.
someone's near spawn.
Nope, I got that one.
Okay.
I just need a gun. You don't get me that easily.
Oh. Dang it.
It's okay, we can go by the other side. I'm low. Oh, dang it!
I'm right here. I'm right here.
I know. Somebody's coming through spawn, I feel like. It's out there.
There's another.
Oh!
Oh.
That guy on the top right there. Seriously. So mad.
Oh. Oh. Ow. I was reloading.
Reloading.
I'm so low.
Joke's over. You're dead.
Oh, I'm so low. One more. We need one more.
Oh.
I got the last one. Ha! Worship
Yay.
me.
Congratulations.
Worship me, chat. Chibi is back. I'm so handsome. Look at that. I'm gonna have all the maidens in this game. I'm just kidding. Don't quote me. That sky. How is that? Okay, that
Oh
sky.
my goodness, that's so cool.
That sky's top fragging. When they blinded me, I'm so annoyed. Do you know how many times our sky actually team sabotage? I'm just saying.
Yeah, I saw that.
What a fucking. Okay, I'm
The
gonna
brimstone
say.
one. The brimstone one.
Yeah.
It's basically, oh no.
They are new. Actually, you know what? That is literally how I started out. Okay, you are doing way better. You are in Singapore server right now. The skill level between Singapore and Manila is at least 30% different. Singapore is 30% harder. You still got 5. Look at that. You still got 5, okay? I'm just saying. You are actually really good at this game, huh? You should
I
play.
didn't know either.
Well, you had to try. The moment you got your nerves over, look at that. You are performing so amazingly. You don't need abilities. I don't think you even used abilities this round, did you? Not much.
Whenever I try to use
You
ability,
died.
yeah.
Yeah, that's why. You just need guns.
Yeah.
See, this is what I mean. Lily is a carry. She's a natural, guys. Chat. Good job. Good job, Lily.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go for dinner right now. Anytime you
Yeah.
want Valorant, man, hit me up. Okay, I feel like I don't know if anybody in CC is actually in like Asia server Valorant, not gonna lie.
Hopefully.
But I'm available. Anzo is probably busy right now, but I'm available. Let's see who else is available. Leaf doesn't play Riot games. I think Mi-chan plays Riot games. Let me see who else. Let me run through. Koda is not actually online recently, so we don't know about that. Jojo plays Valorant.
I think Kodai just like announced that he's back.
Oh really? He's back from hiatus?
Yeah.
Oh, we can
I
hit.
just saw it yesterday.
Oh my god, great timing. We can hit him up then. Jojo plays Valorant
Yeah.
as well. Let me see. Shishi plays it as well, but I don't know. Shishi has like part-time job right now, I think. I'm not very sure.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, Kodai is back. Will be
Oh.
this weekend.
Hell yeah. Okay, great timing. So we know next time who we want to pull in. Yes, thank you, Chad. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye, Chad. Thank you for joining us
Bye bye,
today.
chat.
Bye.
Bye.